Hi you guys, my name's Jen and today I'm going to guide you through a Yin Yoga practice where we focus on building intuition. We're going to focus on our Solar Plexus Chakra, which is also called our naval chakra. It's our third chakra up from the base and it's really where we hold a lot of our intuition. There's that saying, your gut feeling, it's that inner knowing. So today we're going to focus on that space particularly while we're also practicing Yin, which helps us just to tap into ourselves. We slow down and relax into the postures and relax into our muscles and our body and target the fascia and the ligaments, and we really tap into our parasympathetic nervous system, which helps us to really become focused and calm, and from that state is where we can really tap into our inner knowing or intuition. All right, so today we will use a bolster. If you'd like, you can just wrap up a couple of blankets like I did here and roll them into each other. You could also grab some pillows to lay on as well from the couch or maybe your bed. So for now, just go ahead and move that bolster up towards the top of your mat, and we're gonna get started laying on our bellies. So go ahead and lay flat on your stomach. You can turn your left cheek on the mat. Palms can be beside you, face up, and just let your heels fall to the side. Just fully relax your body onto the yoga mat. Close off your eyes. And just start to become aware of the sensations of breath moving in and out of your body. Notice the mat underneath your body, fully letting your entire weight of your body just be supported, relaxed. Take a big breath in, feel your back body lift, and release it out of your mouth. Do one more big, full breath in. Audible, open mouth exhale. And again, this time, allowing your body to fully relax with that breath out. Breathe fully in. Deep body relaxation with the exhale. Resealing your lips, just breathing long breaths in and out of your nose. And then to balance out the neck, go ahead and pick up your head and turn your right cheek on the mat. Maybe calling to mind something that you would like to have some clarity on. Something going on in your life where you might like to tap into that intuition. And then letting go of consciously trying to figure it out. And starting to trust yourself, trust your gut, trust that the path will present itself in divine timing. Possibly even connecting to a mantra here. I can trust myself. I am my own guide. Maybe it's just trust or intuition, connecting to something positive. Option to leave your eyes closed. We're going to make our way to Sphinx Pose. So bringing the shoulders under, or the elbows underneath the shoulders, Fingertips are spread. And sort of like you're pulling the mat towards you without really moving it, opening up through the chest. Legs can be relaxed, ankles can fall to the side. If this is too much on your back, you can always come down to your forearms, or option to even use that bolster or pillow. Just creating some compression to the low back, some opening through the chest. Opening through that beautiful heart space of yours. From a place of an open heart, we can connect to our intuition. Having that open heart helps us to connect to love instead of fear. Intuition is that inner knowing before fear sets in. So breathing into that open, beautiful heart space. Trusting that it's safe to open. If you like, you can release your chin to your chest, stretching back into the neck. And take right ear over to right shoulder. And swinging through the center, left ear over to left shoulder. Just making your way back and forth, relaxing through the face. Just letting go of any tension from the neck. You can level off your gaze and then turn the head over to the right. Making your way back through center and then over to the left. And just taking it nice and slowly, working through the neck space and just going as far as is comfortable. Being mindful of your edge and just taking your time. You can turn your head back to center. One big full breath into your belly and let it out of your mouth. You can come down for an earth hug. Bring your left arm beside your body. Right arm comes out into a cactus shape and right leg comes into a frog shape. Left cheek on the mat. Close off your eyes, relax your body. Long, full breaths. Leave your right knee bent as it is, but go ahead and lift up back through Sphinx Pose. And then thread the left arm underneath the right so you can set your left shoulder blade on the mat. And then spin your right arm across your body. We're coming into a twist here. So if your knee lifts, you can always place a pillow underneath it. And if your right shoulder blade's quite lifted, you can always place the bolster or another pillow underneath that. Just twisting into that navel. Massage to those internal organs. Allowing your mind to focus on your breath, letting thoughts or distractions pass on by and just come back to the breath. Relaxing through the body. Each full breath, a little reminder to relax, to let go. Take 5 more conscious breaths. Taking your time, we'll start to make our way back onto our belly. We can come back to that Sphinx Pose postures with the elbows underneath the shoulders, or for a little more, we can take Seal Pose. So for a Seal Pose, take the hands out as wide as the yoga mat, and then straighten out through those arms, creating quite a bit of compression to that low back. Relaxing through the legs, relaxing through the face. Option to close your eyes. We'll be here a little bit shorter, just about a minute. So see if you can stay with it. If it becomes too much, feel free to drop down to your elbows. Concentrate on your breath. One more breath. And first drop down to your elbows. And then taking an earth hug on the other side. Bend into the left leg, create that frog shape. Right arm stretches beside you, palm face up. And left arm comes out to that cactus shape. Right cheek on the mat. Let go, relax, feel yourself supported by the mat, by the floor underneath the mat, by the foundation of the home you're in, eventually by the earth, feeling yourself supported by the mother. And with this love and support, we are safe, we are held. Each breath, relaxing your body just a little more, soaking in the stillness. You can leave your left leg bent, first pressing back through Sphinx Pose, and then threading the needle. Right shoulder comes underneath the left arm. Set that shoulder blade on the mat, and then take the left arm across your body, opening up to a twist. Once again, if your shoulder is quite lifted, you can place a bolster or a pillow underneath it, maybe placing one underneath that knee as well, building the floor up to you. Or you can just kind of let gravity do its work, just enjoying the spinal twist through our navel, through our solar plexus chakra. Gentle massage for our core, our abdomen, which holds so many vital organs. Just offering some appreciation. We find stillness here, letting the mind be still too, letting go of thoughts or the need to think or figure things out. Just allow yourself to be. Trusting that this is exactly where you're meant to be right now in this moment. Let's take 5 of our fullest, most conscious breaths. Each breath an opportunity to reset. And this time we'll just make our way onto our backs. Gather your knees in towards your chest. And sway a little side to side. And make some circles with your knees, giving that low back a bit of a massage, playing with the size of the circles, might play with where you feel that massage on your back. Just go in both directions. Grab a hold behind the backs of your thighs. Start to rock and roll the length of your spine. Full spinal massage. Take a few rounds. And we'll meet in tabletop position. Hands and knees. Finding a nice, strong, sturdy tabletop. Fingers are spread. Hands are planted underneath the shoulders. Knees underneath the hips. Let's take just a couple rounds of cat-cow. So you inhale, drop the belly down towards the mat, open through the chest, gaze up. And exhale to tuck and round, press the mat away. Inhale, find that back bend, heart opener. Exhale to round and tuck. Inhale, cow pose. And exhale, cat. Option to open it up to any other movements that feel supportive and kind to your body today. Making some circles with your body. Taking some side body stretches. Can be helpful to close off your eyes and tune in. Ask your body what it needs. And just take a few more breaths. Okay, bring your knees together and tuck under those toes. Sit back on your heels. We're coming to bottom of the foot stretch. Now this can feel a little intense. So we're going to bring the pinky toe to meet the other toes, really stretching into the bottom of the foot. Now if this is just way too intense today, feel free to come on up, take breaks. We'll just be here for about 2 minutes. So if you can, breathe, lengthen out that breath, send breath to your feet, send gratitude to your feet, acknowledging all the things our feet do for us. This is just one little thing we can do for them. Fuller breath, bigger breath. Send those breath sounds out as you exhale. Might feel good to let out an open mouth exhale. We're about halfway there. Take a break if you need it. Bring the hands in front of you, the tops of the feet. And then to counter, you can just sit back on your heels or maybe take an ankle stretch. You can bring your hands beside you and then just lift up the knees. If you'd like to play a little bit more with balance, you can bring your hands to the tops of the knees. We'll just be here for a minute. Close off those eyes. If you haven't already, you can release those knees back to the mat and come back to tabletop position. You can take dragon pose. So if your mat's a little thin or maybe your knees are a little sensitive, feel free to make the mat a little thicker underneath the left knee or place a blanket on the yoga mat to give a little extra cushion. So we'll step the right foot forward and then angle those right toes out. Heel comes in and the knee traces over the toes. Hands can come down to the mat, or if you'd like, you can place them on top of your pillow or bolster, or maybe if you have blocks, you could use those too to kind of lift you up, take you a bit out of the posture. We're going to be here for a while, so sometimes it's nice to use some support and then you can deepen as you go. Up to you. We're going to take a twisted form of this variation, but first we'll just hang out, enjoy this hip flexor stretch. And then we can open on up to the right. So take the right hand over to that right thigh. And before we settle into some stillness here, we can bend into that back thigh. An option to reach around for the outer edge of your foot, just playing a little with a nice quadricep stretch. If you can't quite reach the foot, that's okay. You can just bend through the back leg or skip it entirely. If you've got that foot, go ahead and release it nice and gently. And then just come into that twist. We're going to hang out here for a while. You can stay up, propped up on that bolster. You can drop your hand down to the yoga mat. You might even drop yourself down to your forearm. So just taking a variation you can hold for a few minutes. Always an option to close off those eyes. Just tune into the sensations you feel in your body. And then noticing where you can relax. Where might you be holding on to tension? That might be your forehead or your jaw. Where can you give in to this posture? it starts to become a little more challenging, possibly bringing a smile to your face, flooding your brain with endorphins, reminding yourself we'll be moving out of the posture soon, everything will be okay. Let's take 3 more breaths. Been here for a little while, so first taking yourself out of the twist, coming back to dragon. Woo, and then taking your time, sitting those hips back. We'll come into half splits. Just shift yourself forward, back into dragon, and then back into half splits, breathing some life into the hip, getting some blood flow. Okay, let's come back to tabletop position. And you can take an optional downward dog, maybe taking the hands out a little wider, feet out a little wider, and just pedaling it out. I like to take a downward dog between these 2 sides just to really check in with my body and see how it feels. Probably feels a little out of balance. Sometimes it takes being out of balance to realize what imbalance feels like. So let's balance it out, come back to tabletop position. And then we'll step the left leg forward for dragon. So left toes angle out, heel is in. And that left knee traces over the toes. And then once again, feel free to use some books or blocks or a bolster. You can prop yourself up. Allowing yourself to really stretch into that right hip flexor. And then planting that right hand underneath that right shoulder. You can twist open to the left. And we know where we're going. We will settle in, but if you'd like, first just to bend through the back leg. You can just leave it bent or reach around for the outer edge of the foot. Stretch into that quadricep. You've got the foot, letting it go, taking your time. Come back to that twisted variation. And if you did on the other side, possibly dropping down to your forearm if you'd like. Otherwise, just stay up on your hand. And then consciously finding those places to relax. For me, it's my forehead. Relaxing my tongue, letting it fall from the roof of my mouth. And just continuing to lengthen out the breath. Using that breath to stay centered and focused. Using the breath to stay with the posture. When it becomes challenging, if we just focus on a fuller, deeper breath, oftentimes we can stick with it a little longer. Let's take 3 collective breaths. First, let's come out of the twist. Take dragon. And then with care, sit those hips back, half splits. Take your time. Shift yourself forward, back to dragon, and then back to half splits. Bringing some blood flow back in. Can make our way back to tabletop position, and then optional downward dog to feel it out, feel those hips. You might feel a little more balanced. Sometimes we just have natural imbalances in our bodies or because of our tendencies, so they might not feel perfectly balanced. Our body's not perfect, right? But might feel a little better. And let a breath out of your mouth, open, audible exhale. Let out some heat. Then drop back down to those knees. We'll take child's pose. So if you'd like, you can use your pillows or bolster for this. I like to. Knees come out wide as the yoga mat. Toes come in to touch one another. And then sit back on your heels. If your knees complain in this, you can place a thin blanket behind the backs of the knees. You can also place one under the ankles, maybe rolled up underneath it. So kind of set yourself up in child's pose to feel supported and good. And then just go ahead and crawl yourself forward on top of that support. You can bring the palms out in front of you, face down or face up for a little bit more of a shoulder opening. You can turn either cheek on the bolster. Taking a few breaths, feeling the breath move in through your nostrils and expand through your chest and ribs and belly. And as you exhale, feeling your belly press to spine, your ribs compress, and the breath comes back out of your nose. Might be a nice time to reconnect to your inner child. Reconnect to who you were before other people told you how to be. Connecting to that inner knowing. Remembering the things that brought you joy. Reconnecting to that sense of freedom. And that trust. pick your head up and just move it to the other side so that you can balance out the neck. Coming out of this a little more slowly than you might naturally. Just start with turning your head and then bringing the hands back underneath your body, sitting up. We'll move into deer pose, so we can use those pillows or bolster for this one. So go ahead and have a seat on your buttocks. And then you'll take your left and right leg and create 90-degree angles. So we're going to create a 90-degree at the left knee, also 90-degree at the right knee. And then you'll take that bolster, the pillow, and you'll place it on your left hip. And then walk yourself over towards that side. Eventually, you'll crawl your way onto that support. And you might turn your left cheek on the bolster. Now, if it feels okay on your neck, you might even pick your head up and move your right cheek on the bolster. So just getting comfortable, finding what feels good on your head and neck and in your body, and then relaxing here. Let's take one breath in through our nose and send it out of our mouth. Let's do 2 more. You've got your head turned first, straighten out and turn your left cheek onto the bolster. And then walk those hands back towards your body. Lift up your torso. Just crawl the hands across the body and then over to the right, countering with a bit of a stretch. And then walk those hands back behind you. Knees come up towards the sky. Lift up through the chest and shift the head back, and then just drop the knees side to side. We'll windshield wipe them. And we'll make our way to the other side. So you can sit your buttocks on the mat, take that bolster or pillows, bring them over towards your right side. I'm going to create those 90-degree angles once again. 90 degree at the knee. And then placing that support over towards that right hip. And I'm just going to shift our body over towards that bolster. And then eventually laying down on it. And you know, it's okay if you don't quite lay down. You can always leave yourself propped up if it's just too much to lay down. But otherwise, continue to make your way. Eventually turning that right cheek on the bolster, coming down. And if it's comfortable in your neck, you might play with lifting up your head and turning your left cheek. Settling into deer pose. Allowing yourself to be supported by the bolster or pillows underneath you. Close off your eyes. And take this time to be still and with your breath. Nothing else to concentrate on or think about. Simply breathe. Take clearing breath in through the nose. Release it out of the mouth. 2 more. If you've got your left cheek on the bolster, first pick it up and take your right cheek, set it down, untwist the neck, unwind. And guide those hands back towards your body, sit up. We'll walk our hands across our body and then over to the left, countering a little stretch. And then bring your hands behind you, fingertips pointed towards you, lift up through the chest, drop the head back, and windshield wipe those knees. Could feel good to take hammock, reverse tabletop, and lift up the hips, tilt the head back, optional lion's breath in through your nose, and stick out your tongue for an exhale. And set your hips back on the mat and extend the legs in front of you and come into caterpillar. So you can use those pillows or bolster and lay them across your legs. You can also even tilt it up towards you, so that you can kind of create something for you to lean into. We're just going to take a forward fold. Legs are relaxed. Let those toes fall to the side a bit. Relax through the quadriceps. And then just hinge forward. So you might just hinge forward just a little bit. If you're a little tight in the low back or hamstrings, that's okay. And just kind of use that support to lean on. Palms can be beside you. Loose through the knees. Can even bend them a little bit. If you are feeling a little more open today, you might start to crawl yourself forward onto the support, or maybe no support at all and just let gravity kind of do its thing. Allow yourself to kind of hunch and round. We're about halfway there. If you'd like, you can remove the support and see if your body is opened up a little bit more. Fold in a little more deeply. Maybe it hasn't at all, and that's okay too. This practice is all about meeting yourself where you are today. Being gentle on yourself and accepting and loving. It's not about forcing. Take 5 more breaths. See if you can stick with the inhalation, the exhalation. Equally long. And lift up through your head, walk those hands back towards your body. And then we'll make our way onto our backs. You can keep your bolster or pillows handy as we make our way into Shavasana. If you'd like, you can hug your knees in towards your chest one more time. Maybe take an optional brief happy baby. Anything that might feel like it helps just to complete this practice. It can feel nice to bend and straighten the legs if you're in happy baby. And just taking a couple more breaths. We'll make our way to Shavasana. We can take traditional Shavasana here, or maybe take up a little more space. Pentacle. You can take your feet out wider than the yoga mat. And then arms come out beside you, palms face up. Shuffle those shoulder blades together underneath you so that helps to open up through that heart space. And what I like to do with my bolster is place it on top of my hips. This just provides a little weight and a little extra grounding. So once you've arrived, consciously relax. Relax your eyebrows, and your jaw, and your tongue. Relax through your chest and your arms, your back and belly. Relax your hips and your legs. Full body relaxation. Let your body take over for breathing. No need to control it or focus on it. Surrender. Trust that everything you've done up until this point was exactly what you needed to do to get you to this moment. The full integration and relaxation. Shavasana. Start to reawaken your body. Option to stay in Shavasana longer. If you're ready to move, go ahead and start to roll out your wrists and your ankles and stretch your arms overhead. Good morning, stretch. Eventually guiding your right hand to your belly and your left hand to your heart. Breathing into your palms, feeling your heartbeat, connecting to that space of love. And feeling your solar plexus chakra, your navel. Connecting these two spaces, your inner knowing, trusting that it always comes from a place of love and not fear. Offering gratitude to your body for its efforts today. And eventually rolling over to your left side, creating a pillow with your arm and just allowing yourself to relax in this position, seedling position. An opportunity to press yourself on up to a seat as you're ready, brand new. Can make our way into a seated position with palms touching at heart center, Anjali Mudra, eyes closed or gently gazing at the fingertips. Just taking this final moment to connect to yourself, your body. Knowing that you chose this practice because you know what makes you feel better. In this moment, connecting to that inner knowing, you truly do know what's best for you. Continuing to make those choices from a place of love, releasing fear. And bring those thumbs up to your third eye center, the space between your eyes for peaceful thoughts, deep peace. Down to your mouth for kind, sweet, sweet words. And back to your heart for love and gratitude. Namaste.